Hi everyone, Mark from Pocket Video School here. I hope you are having a fantastic Friday and welcome to today's live. So I'm going to jump straight into this and cover what I'm going to be taking you through today, which is how to edit YouTube live videos after you've broadcast. But what I would really like is for people to hang around a little bit afterwards, because I've got a question I need to ask and some things that I'm going to cover that might be interesting to some people who are doing live stuff on Facebook. So if you could, it'd be brilliant to have you stick around. And if anybody's got any questions, then please don't forget, just ask away and I'll try and answer them as best I can. So you've done a live and you've got it on YouTube, and quite often what you find is that you get not quite into it straight away, which is what I've done in the past, unfortunately, and I've kind of fumbled away when I first started, and you wait for people to come along, which is definitely something I recommend that you don't do. And then when you look at the recording, obviously there's quite a bit of material on there that you just think, oh, I wish I could get rid of that. And in the past, I wasn't quite sure how to do that, so I did some digging and I managed to find out how you can actually edit those videos to clean them up a little bit. So for your replay visitors, which will be a large percentage of, because live, not everybody can make it due to time constraints or things that crop up. So if you can edit out the bits that you really don't need after you've done it, it's great for your replay viewers. So I'm going to cover that today, and hopefully it's something that you find really useful for anybody who's contemplating actually using live on YouTube. So let's go straight across to my YouTube channel and we'll dive in and I'll show you. So there we are, and I'm just going to make the screen a little bit bigger so everybody can see. So this is my YouTube channel, and excuse me, I think it was last week I did a live talking about how to fix the reverse image when you're using the selfie camera on your Facebook Live. And I purposely left a screen at the start of the actual live video. And it's not, because something happened at the time, so I wasn't able to jump straight into it. So what I've done is I've left this video there to edit, and you can see it's this one here, how to fix a reversed image. So let's get straight into the editing side of things. Once it's loaded up. And in the past, YouTube had an editor built into their system, which was quite powerful, and you could do quite a few things if you didn't have access to any editing software. Then, I think it was in September of 2017, they decided to remove that feature, which a lot of people were really, really disappointed at. Me personally, I wasn't too bothered. I didn't necessarily use it, but I just thought it would be nice for sort of some run and gun stuff. But anyway, I found a workaround, and one that I don't think many people are talking about. So this is how you do it. You've gone into the actual video that you want to edit, and what I'm going to do on this particular occasion is I'm just going to trim off the beginning, which had the title screen that I don't particularly want. So if I now go up to the top, and you've got a menu bar across the top here, you should be able to see, and if you click on enhancements, what it's going to do is reload that video, and it's going to give me some options to actually make some adjustments to this video. And the one that we're interested in using is this one down here with the scissors on, which is a trim option. So this is what gives us the power to be able to trim off that bit that I didn't want. So it's playing in the background, which I'm not too bothered about. Won't be able to get the audio. So I'm just you've got a scrubber on each end of the actual video clip. So what I'm going to do is, because it's the beginning, I'm going to scrub through, and it does give you a live view. You'll see if I go a bit too far there's the live view. So if I go back a little bit, and normally if I wasn't doing a live stream, I would have the audio playing so I'll be able to hear this. So I'm just going to go, and I'm just going to position it to where I think it should actually be, which is, I could do it using the timestamp as well. So we're on 36 seconds, 37 seconds. So 38 seconds looks to be where I'd transition to me talking. So I've just let go of my mouse, and that is now going to, when I tell it it's done, it will then allow me to save as a new video. Or if I've made a mistake when I've actually been doing this trim option or editing anything else, then I can actually, if you see up here, it's grayed out at the moment because I haven't clicked done, but you can revert to the original. And if there was a bit at the end that I wanted to get rid of as well, obviously I can use the scrubber at the end. Now, I'm going to say done for this particular one for the intro.
Hi everyone, Mark from Pocket Video School here, and well.
So, you see it's completely got rid of it all. That preamble stuff that we didn't need, and obviously it started the video on 0 seconds now. So it's not that it's just bringing it into the timestamp, it is actually editing this. If there was a piece in the middle that you wanted to edit as well, then you can do that. Is it in here still?
Hi everyone, Mark from Pocket Video School here, and welcome to Friday.
I'll just pause that for a second, and I'm going to move my timeline when it catches up with me. I'm just going to bring it to here, and if I wanted to get rid of, say, a piece in the middle where I had, I don't know, anything could have happened. The dog could have barked, somebody could have rung the doorbell. Hopefully that never happens to you on one of your lives, but I actually saw it happen to somebody just this last week. So, you know, it doesn't matter what you, especially if you work from home, it doesn't matter what you do, there's always going to be something that happens. So say, for instance, that happened and I wanted to cut it out, then you've actually got the option to split. So I've positioned my timeline at 4:15. If I click split, then I can move the scrubber again, or I can move the timeline. It moves, come on, probably because I'm live streaming. So I'm going to, yeah, it's a bit fiddly, got to be honest. Right there, it's done it this time. So I've selected it, and then that should take that bit out as well. I can't show you that bit because it's going to take me ages to get back through because it's doing it in real time. So, but you get the idea anyway. And for anybody who's got any videos as well that need some other enhancements, perhaps, if you wanted to slow-mo a section of your video, you can actually do that as well. Again, using the scrubber and then just selecting which bit you actually want to slow-mo. Now, you would have to play around with this to make sure that you were getting it right. There is a knack to it, but playing around with it is usually the best thing. And I can see Mel's on here, and she's the kind of person that will mess around and find the best ways to do things. So just have a play, see how you get on with it. You can change the color temperature, the contrast, and saturation and stuff if you've done your video and you've got something that perhaps some video footage or your camera footage that isn't quite right, that you hadn't got the exposure right on your camera or on your phone or whatever, you can actually adjust it as well. You can see adjusting a little bit there, but I need to spend a bit of time. Obviously, it's,
hi everyone, welcome to Pocket Videos.
That's gone far too blue. It is in real time, so you've got to be careful. I'm just going to bring that back to where it should be.
Hi everyone.
That's better. And then all you would do is just save it. Now, if you press the blue button here, save, then what it'll do is it'll start and make the adjustments in the back end. And it can sometimes take a little bit of time. So don't be surprised if your video takes a while if you've cut or made a lot of adjustments to it or cut quite a bit of stuff out as well. Or you can save it as a new video, so it would be a completely new version. Now, bearing in mind, if you've done a live and you wanted to keep the comments, which is something that has just been rolled out by YouTube recently, there are still 1 or 2 issues with it. There's a couple of bugs where it's not quite doing what it should do properly, but they will iron that out. Whereas in the past with a YouTube live, unlike Facebook, the comments weren't kept. But it's coming to everybody soon. So it'd be interesting to see if I've got the feature after this live finishes, because there's 1 or 2 people who've put some messages in. So hopefully it will save and it'll be in there. So I wouldn't necessarily save this as a brand new video unless I wasn't bothered about the comments. But obviously the engagement side, especially on YouTube Live, is something that you really need to try and focus on, because it's a great way of giving yourself a boost if you're planning to rank your live video afterwards. So hopefully you found that helpful. As I say, if I press save now, it's going to go through and do all the edits in the background. So I'm going to do that on this particular video because I did purposely want to get rid of that that first screen. So And it gives you a bit of a warning here on this dialog box to say that it could take a while for their servers to catch up with it. So when I tested this on a previous video, I think it took about an hour before, maybe a little bit longer, before everything was actually live and ready. And you can see on the thumbnail here, it says edit in progress. Now, if one of your viewers clicks on the replay of that particular live video, they'll still see the unedited version until YouTube servers have finished dealing with it. So there you go. Hopefully you found that interesting. Now, I was asked a question today by Simi, now in the Facebook, one of the Facebook groups that I'm part of. Can you use this for any videos that you've uploaded that aren't necessarily live? So if there's one that you've done previously. So I haven't checked this out, but I'm suspecting that it is the case. So if I go down and I choose this particular one here, which is my video hosting using Facebook, just wait for it to load the video. And then if I click on enhancements, once it's loaded up, yeah, you can do exactly.
I'm going to cover the set.
You can do exactly the same thing. So you've got the trim option, and you've got all the other enhancements and adjustments options if you want to use those as well. So there you go. If you find that you've uploaded a video and you'd forgotten to edit something out, or something changes within your video and you want to cut that piece out, then you've still got that feature in there to be able to go in and actually edit things. So that answers Simi's question. And I'm just going to get back to me on camera. And I said before, if anybody was going to stick around, first of all, have you got any questions related to what we've just covered on the on the YouTube live editing side of things? And if you have, pop them into the comments box, and I'll try and answer them as best I can. Well, nice to see Nicole's here today as well. We were literally just chatting 30 seconds before I came live about some stuff as well. So it's good to see that Nicole's managed to make it. As I said, Mel's here as well, and missing link management to do live. Right, okay, so hopefully you found that beneficial. Now, I mentioned when I first started today's live that I wanted a few people to hang around till the end, because I've got a question I want to ask people. And it's something that I've been looking at for a while, and it's also born slightly from a conversation that I had with a couple of friends of mine and a couple of mentors in Andrew and Pete, from Andrew and Pete. And I've just seen that at least one of them, if not both of them, are here today. And the question is, what are your thoughts? And please, again, pop them in to the actual comments box if you've got any dialogue and feedback on this. On interactive video. So basically what Andrew and Pete were talking about was one of their big takeaways from traffic and conversion in San Diego that they've just been to in social media marketing world. And it was about having conversations with people. And some platforms that I've been looking at and some processes and techniques that I've been looking at recently are how to enhance that. So starting a conversation or a dialogue with people, but being able to segment people or allow people to segment themselves so that you're sending them down a particular path in a particular way that gives you more information about them. And one of the ways that I've been looking at doing this is using interactive video. So if you remember as a child, and a lot of us will remember these books where you could choose your own path or your own story. So what you would do is you would say, for instance, as an example, you get to a page, you read a paragraph, and it said at the end, if you want to slay the dragon, turn to page 12. If you want to run away, then go to page 52. And it allows you to basically create the journey and create the story. And I've actually been experimenting in doing this with video. So you get to a certain point in the video, and the video pauses, and it says to you, do you want to know more about this, or do you want to know more about this? Or if you really wanted to make it basic, are you male, are you female, or are you a dog lover, are you a cat lover? So if you were promoting pet products, then obviously you could start to segment people rather than just giving a generic message out to everybody. And we all know that we can do this using email, but what are your thoughts on being able to do this with video? I'd love to know what you think about it. Is it something that you think is just going to be a fad? Is it something that you think that's a really cool idea and it's very immersive in the customer journey? So yeah, I would just love to know everybody's thoughts on that and just get some opinions. Is it worth me venturing into this even more and doing some tests? I've actually got somebody lined up to do a case study with. So if anybody's interested in finding out about the case study once we've actually got it done, then again, pop your comment into the comments, and we'll connect with each other, and I'll keep you up to speed and up to date on that. So just check to see if anybody's got any questions with regards to it. Good to see, funnily enough, Andrew and Pete turned up at the exact moment. They must have sensed it that I was talking about them and mentioned them. So yeah, if it is something that you're particularly interested to hear more about, then please let me know. Nicole says, sounds exciting. And I'm hoping she's referring to the interactive video. And I think it could be something that, that Nicole, you could probably do. Nicole and I work together on her video editing and creating a lot of her material, her content now. So it'd be nice to see if we could perhaps do something where we test out some stuff. So possibly there's another case study in the making, Nicole, if you're interested in that. So anybody else got any questions on either what we covered with the editing the YouTube live or YouTube videos, and or any comments or any questions on the interactive video style of stuff? So Nicole says yes. I've just sent my iPad flying. Nicole says people like interactivity, and you're right, Nicole, they do. And I think it's an area that we really need to think about how we can use it more engagingly, because there's nothing worse than just using automation and not actually having a purpose to it. So if you can segment your people in a nice, easy and intuitive way, then I think it's probably something that could work really, really, really good. And Nicole says, I am your favorite German client. Well, I have to tell you, Nicole, I do believe at this particular point in time you are my only German client, but you never know, that might change. So anybody else got any questions that they want me to cover on any of the stuff on today's live, then please let me know. If not, I wish you all a rest of the fantastic, I put my teeth back in, a great Friday, wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is. Hopefully we've got some people from different locations, and have a great weekend. It's a busy one for me again, lots of stuff to do this weekend. Right, so it looks like Andrew and Pete have got a question, so I shall see if I can endeavour to answer it. And their question is, with the interactive video, do you mean something that plugs into email software or Messenger? It's an interesting take on it, fellas. It is actually something that you can do. So what it doesn't do is well, I suppose, yeah, you can connect it to anything basically, because you could send the link out via your emails. But what I mean when I say interactive is that the actual video is playing and the video will pause. So it tends to be on a self-hosted site, so it'll be on your website, etc. And it will play through, and it will get to the point where the video will stop, or you on camera will say, please let me know whether you are a dog lover or a cat lover. The video will pause, and there'll be a button or an image for them to click on, cat or dog, and depending on which one they choose, then obviously it then starts playing another video that is related directly to the answer of that question. So as I mentioned earlier, if it was pet products that you were selling and you wanted to know who was after cats and who was after dog stuff, and they click on cats, then you could show them products that were related to cats. And then obviously you could ask them another question further down the line that helps segment them even more. So hopefully that answers your question in a little bit way. We can always have a chat about it at some point in the future, guys. And if it's something that you're interested in, then, we can maybe explore that as well. So any other questions, anybody? If not, I'm going to say bye for now and catch you all next Friday. So have a good weekend, and we'll all speak soon.